In this video, I deal with some dead calves, a downer cow, buying a backhoe, going down to Arizona for my uncle's funeral, and coming back home and talking to my kids about all of it. If you find yourself bored at any point, because it's going to be a long one, just double tap on the right side of the screen. That skips ahead 10 seconds at a time, and you can find more interesting things. Here is a cylinder I was working on that I actually broke for a hydraulic cylinder. We had to fix that. Well, we're taking delivery of 2 large oil totes today, which should save about $100 across a couple hundred gallons of hydraulic and 15W40 tractor motor oil. So I set these up. They're level with respect to each other, and each one is pretty level, and they're level as well with the rack. This guy should be here anytime. I'd move a bunch of stuff like this big thing out of the way. That was not fun to do by myself with that little hand cart, but I think that this should work well. It's out of the sunlight and things, and it's just plastic totes need, so should be good. Okay, Ed, here's the master bathroom. We painted all the cabinets, sanded them down, painted them white. We ended up doing a white subway tile in here. A new bathtub. We did these quartz countertops everywhere, these white quartz with this kind of gray vein. In the mudrooms, kitchen, areas and bathrooms, we've done this gray tile. We put in built-in shelving in the closets. Here's the flooring. We've done most of the area with this luxury vinyl plank stuff that looks real nice. Still finishing things up. We sanded all the kitchen doors down and painted them white. My wife likes white. Here's that quartz countertop again. Got new appliances in. It's my son's room. He's fast asleep. Sleeping away. There's Laurel. Say hi to Ed. And those are the windows. We put trim around them. We're actually going to need to replace the glass, which we have not yet done, you can see, but we're going to replace that glass because the builders who are helping us out say that it needs the argon gas and the low E stuff, and that'll apparently keep it a lot cooler and keep the UV light out. And downstairs I've got finished except for the stairway, which we're going to put carpet on for the kids. And here's downstairs area. Kids are got their stuff strewn everywhere. Katie baby, what you doing? Okay, we'll finish, Katie baby. You gotta close the door, Kate. Jeez. This is Kate's room. Got a closet in here for all her stuff, and put a door here for the mechanical room. Here's Griffin's room. We put shelving up there and shelving here, and it's got a desk over there eventually. And there's the trim. There's the guy still working. And this is the toilet you had all put together and operational. And we had made no changes to the cold room, the plants room. We actually moved we did move the water heater from out here to into here. And that's the only change we've made. And I got all my tools in here because I don't have anywhere else to put them yet. You gotta figure that out. But yeah, that's it. We've set up our oil containers. The oil should be coming later today. I think these are 110 gallon totes. 120 gallons, I guess. 120. This is going to be hydraulic fluid. That's my 15W40 motor oil. Well, we had a hose that was leaking, and so I learned a little bit about repairing these. Because this hose runs to one of the cattle troughs that's by my house, and obviously it's empty, and the bulls were about to go in here, so they needed a working hose that could fill up their water trough. And here was my initial attempt at the repair. You can see the problem. Those need to be pushed all the way close together.
You might want to get it out so you don't get the reflection of the window.
Yeah, that's great.
Come over on this side.
Oops. Suckling on the bowl.
Okay, step backwards a couple so you're on the sun. Step back, step back. Okay, and then Granty, I want you to look at me. Griffin, look good next to your sister. Okay, everybody look at Mama and say, cheese! Okay, our rules. You let Grant get some eggs. Do not open the eggs until we get home. Any other questions? Any more rules?
Nope, go have fun.
Okay,
Go, Kate, go! Put it in your basket, buddy. Here's a backhoe that I was looking at purchasing. It was listed on an auction site called GovDeals, where local governments post excess equipment they have for sale. This one was in pretty good shape, a number of hydraulic leaks that I was able to spot, and rear tires, okay shape. Cab was in fantastic shape, only has machine only has like 2,000 hours on it, although it's about a 20-year-old machine. A little bit of rust and some pitting on it from salt handling out of Yakima, I believe. But generally it's a pretty good looking machine, so it was something I wanted to purchase. And you'll see upcoming. I followed the auction quite a bit, and you'll see what happens. The farmhand I hired was running Wayne's backhoe, and it ended up overheating, and he didn't notice, and you can see all the steam coming off of it here. When I come around to the other side, you'll see that we blew out a valve gasket, which is a lot less serious than it looks and sounds. There, you can see it right there. We actually were able to order a new one for like 20 bucks and put it in, and it fixed it. It bounces. This is Kate's blow up unicorn she saved all of her money up for and spent all of her money on. You love it, Kate?
All $26.
All $26. Everything she has. Griffin, go eat your dinner. Griffin, Mama give you a direction. Okay. So this is a cow that's in the middle of giving birth. She keeps turning to face me, so you can't quite see it here yet, but she actually has a placenta down behind her and a little bit of a hoof sticking out. You'll be able to see it more in just a second. I took this video because I wanted my farm manager to see it. I thought she might be having a problem. And I took it to him, and he did not think she was having a problem, thought she was fine. But both of us made a big mistake in that we didn't come back and check on her every half hour or hour, as this was pretty late in the evening. She ended up having some pretty serious problems, as you'll see here in a second. You may want to skip the next part if you don't want to see something a little bit disturbing. Worried about. Calf is dead. She's bleeding, I think. I cut him out. She's still alive. Eyes kind of rolled back. Is she's not bloated, right? I mean, I think we're probably going to need to get a vet in if Wayne wants to put the money into that. I'm not sure. But I don't see, she's not bleeding a ton out of there, but there is a lot of blood around, right? Just the placenta? Can she just not get back up? Oh, Wayne said that they get in this valley and they can't get up.
Oh, really?
So I think we might need to try and help. Okay, we flipped her over. I just noticed the blood in the nostrils. The legs are real stiff. She doesn't look bloated to me, does she? Look bloated to you?
No.
I don't think it's bloat.
It's just a rib cage that was, you know, I'm laying on the side like that.
Oh, there she goes.
I'm trying to get up. Good thing.
I consulted with Wayne, who still owns the whole herd, on what we should do. And based on his recommendation, we got this harness on her, got her up on her stomach, and she seemed to do a lot better after she was up on her stomach. Nothing we could do for a dead calf, obviously, but we were trying to do our best to save her life. The weather was absolutely terrible, though. The weather had turned real bad. It was freezing and snowing on us, and that was part of the reason for some of these troubles, we think. But another cow had given birth to twins. This is one of those twins, and you can see it's barely moving. We ended up giving it colostrum, but that just didn't really liven it up, as you can see here. And here's the other one that we were found
clean eating out
in the morning. Yeah. The coyotes found it, killed it, cleaned it out, we believe. Not entirely sure. And then here's that cow again. We fed her a bit, gave her water, but she still would not stand up. Another day later, the seller returned, and here's him trying to help the cow up, but her rear was paralyzed or badly damaged, and she was unable to do so. Here we're trying to feed her some barley, but all the other cows want to come steal her barley, so we have to stand guard and keep them back. They really want that barley, don't they? The kids will be curious to see this. I'm going to take a little video and show them. Man, they really want it. Father-daughter date. Out here on top of the mountain, we got a whole picnic. Isn't that gonna be fun, Katie baby? Got a nice view of our house and everything, and our food.
Lots of flowers to show Mom.
You do, good.
Nope, this is 4:45.
Yeah. Almost. Kind of smeared her a little bit. This is my farm manager performing castration. I actually got the opportunity to learn how to do these as well. At first it was pretty challenging, but after a few of them, started to get the hang of it. I feel really bad for the ones who had to do a 10-minute procedure with me rather than a 2-minute procedure later on. But just the way it is, I guess. Here we're filling up the mixer grinder. The mixer grinder has the different minerals and grains and things like that that all get mixed in, ground up, that we put into the feed wagon and mix in with straw and hay to feed all the calves. This machine is obscenely loud. You have to wear hearing protection for it, and I turn the volume way down for you guys, but I'll let a little bit in so you can get a flavor for how it sounds. We have this enormous oil bin full of barley and grain that we store it in and bring it over. I did end up purchasing the case backhoe that I looked at earlier in this video. Total cost with all the fees and taxes and everything was a little higher than I expected at $29,000, but it did come with those 3 buckets, and it's in fantastic shape, low hours. Owned and maintained by the state its entire life, so I think it's going to be a good deal. Okay, so to dismount this cylinder I need to remove this hose clamp down there and this. Plug those, clean it up. There's a lot of really cool, quirky, unique things on the property, and this is one of them. This is an old well where there's a windmill, which you can see the tower still standing without the fan blades, but the tower is still there. They eventually replaced the windmill power with electric power. You can see I just pointed at the wellhead. I'm actually going to go out there and see if it's still operable, the well itself, because I may actually put a windmill right back up there. That's one of my projects I'd like to do out here if I can figure out how to do it. But a lot of cool stuff, real old. It's been seen some better days. And right here is the water trough, real big concrete water trough. And the reason it was so large is the wind doesn't always blow, so you want extra water. Oh, she's got water right there, but Mr. Wayne kept turning himself over in this gully, so we finally decided to move her down somewhere where we could work on her a little better. So we made a sled for her out of the old car hood, and I chained it up to a telehandler and got her on here. It's pretty dangerous. Obviously you got a 1,100 pound animal and you're trying to move it and do things, and cows aren't wild, but they're not exactly tame either, and they don't really want you sitting on them handling them like this, so you can get kicked and have other issues. Obviously her health is pretty poor, so she's not able to get up and charge or kick too much, so and we're trying to help her and figure out how we can basically help her stand up, because if she can't stand up, she will die. So we're doing everything we can to feed her, to let her body, help her body recover, and to help maybe even do a little kind of cow physical therapy to get her body back in shape so she can actually stand up and walk again. We're also getting all the water running for spring and summer. So this is one of the wells. There's a well pump in there, and you have to prime the well pump, and that gets kind of water flowing out all over like this as you're getting primed. Once it's primed and running, you don't have any more leaks though. Okay. Now here, point at Daddy. Point at Daddy. Point at Daddy. Follow Daddy. Put the buckets back, Griffin. Griffin, come put the empty buckets. Daddy's good. Good. Make sure it points at Daddy. You can see Daddy's hand. The cow's hands. You following Daddy? Good job. Griffin, are you putting all these buckets away? You gotta get all the empty buckets and put them back under the barrel. Oh, good. I think you. So this was pretty terrifying for me. I'm going into the pen with 8 full-grown bulls to feed them their barley. I have my 4-year-old son as the cameraman. Wayne told me kind of move fairly quickly and feed as you go. You can see one right there coming real quick towards me, and kind of scary. I raised my stick there. Wayne said hit them on the nose if they come in your personal space, but keep moving quickly, and I'm probably not moving quickly enough here. They also didn't nose me, and Wayne said to me later on that you don't want to kind of raise your voice or talk to them or wave your stick, because that just kind of antagonizes them. So I'm not making myself any bull friends here. And actually the next time I came out to feed bulls, the alpha bull was quite a bit more aggressive towards me, and so after that I tried to think of new ideas that didn't involve me running around with a bunch of 2,000-pound testosterone crazed bulls. It's kind of a scary experience, but this is the way the seller always did it, and I'm trying to learn the way he's done things, so I can do it as well. And if I make changes later, at least I'll know what he did and have a point of comparison.
Yes. They were biting you.
Hopefully you caught all that on video, Griffin. That was a good one. Did it come out this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
That extra loop has got to be in.
Yeah. Extra loop inwards. Okay, so we took out the spring, and next we took off the nut, and now there's that, what's that round thing?
Bushing.
Bushing, okay, next bushing. Okay, another bushings, couple of them.
Oh.
You got some metal?
They go in one way too.
Oh.
Or that one does.
Which way did it go?
This is the first one out.
Well,
this was the.
That was the last one.
This was the middle one. It was like that.
Okay. After we branded our big group of cows, we're moving them actually out to their pasture. They're right now in kind of a runway between two big center pivot irrigated fields. And my job is a little boring, but to sit here and prevent the calves from running back out the other direction, which I keep trying to go back home. My job is to chase them away. Okay, so this kit came with only one Teflon coated spacer, that's right there. But it's too long, you can see it's too long, and the bearing won't fit over it. The bearing is just tied up to the shaft. So that's why I can't get this back together. There is from the old, what we took apart, there's this spacer, which is just exactly the right thickness, but it doesn't have the Teflon coating. You can see the bulls here. They're almost always just very aggressive with each other. Those two are kind of pushing against each other, trying to get after the barley, and even though they have plenty of barley in other spots, just enormous amounts of testosterone. I'm working on rebuilding this cylinder, and right now I'm checking out the rod to see if there's any scratches or dings that would damage the seals when I put on the new one. You can see the nut there is still on. That nut was really hard to remove. Took a 1-inch air hammer to knock that thing loose, plus a lot of heat to get it off, and melt the Loctite that was probably on there. Here I'm making a video of how the rod will go back together. You can see I'm looking and trying to get on camera the different seals, where they're located, how everything's put together, so that I can try and put it all back together myself once I get the new parts. And here I'm looking down at some of the stuff on the internals.
What's that?
You can see inside of here, there's also a seal on the inside, and there's wiper seal on the inside here as well on the end piece. So I'm trying to record all this so that when I go back to rebuild it, it'll actually go back together, I hope.
Okay, so off of this deal, this seal on the inside came out first. It's got some sort of groove there. An interior. Feels kind of plasticky, rubbery. This blue ring, which has like an inner crease, was inside the center there, but I'm not sure which way it faced. I couldn't tell after I got it out.
Here, there's this black simple O-ring on top with the other thing underneath of it. This ring was just a simple flat one that went underneath along with this ring.
Okay, a small black O-ring comes off of this piston.
Try to get her to stand up again. What do you think, Miss Cow? Notice how number 16, the alpha bull here, is sitting here waiting for me right next to the barley and is a little more aggressive than last time with my stick waving and such. Doesn't really respond to my arm waves. And before he was, I think he's starting to view me as some sort of competitor to him, which is not a good thing when you have gigantic, enormous bulls that are easily angered or can become quite aggressive. Now, Wayne does say his bulls are very friendly and nice, or they wouldn't be here. I think that's true, but it's still a 2,000-pound testosterone-fueled male, you know. Griffin apparently didn't follow me with the camera, but oh, there we go. So I put in some feed in that one. Now I'm trying to go around the other way and see that I got a couple following me this direction as well. But fortunately I'm able to get the feed all in and get myself back out of here. Got one more bucket to go. Basically trying to hustle up and get the job done. This is probably my least favorite job on the farm at this point. Going in there with these bulls, I just feel like it's such a dangerous thing. So this is actually my very last time going in there with them. We were able to move them to a pen where I can feed them without having to actually get in there. So I'm very happy about that.
There was Robbie trees after the truck. Look at it. Why are they
Okay, so this one's back together. Use the hot water to warm it up and stretch it out and put it over. The black rings are back on. This one is good to go, I think. I'm gonna put it over there. How did you do that? Are you moving? This is about as fast as the bulls go most of the time. Gotta get them all the way to follow me over that hill over there. Here, boss! Hey, boss! Hey, boss! That one in the back didn't want to come. Those guys had some good advice, or at least some advice. Stream swelling there. We had to shoot her. Unfortunately, she just kept getting worse and worse and was miserable and was going to be unable to recover, so the seller advised that we should just shoot her at this point. What's that? Do it again. What is it? Oh, is that your experiment? So we're at the rear of the backhoe here. You can see there's been a lot of oil leaking down. And my best guess is it's that valve right there. See the oil in it? The hose under it's very wet, but I'm guessing that's just from that valve. I think it's dripping. I'm not sure what it's for. It's a front valve on the right side of the machine facing forward. Here's looking at the same issue from the top side. You can see lots of oils come down around here. Don't think it's these cylinders though. I think it's coming from in there. You can see how wet this hose is up above. And I think it's that shiny valve, whatever it is. Not sure which one that is for. And it's gonna be an interesting one to get out. I think we gotta move that hose. Might be able to move it a little bit, or we might have to remove the hose. I flew to Arizona on fairly short notice and met up here with my brothers at Top Golf and played a little bit, but the reason we were there was not for fun. We had a tragedy in our family, and our Uncle Greg passed away unexpectedly. He was in great shape and health, but unfortunately contracted double pneumonia, which must have triggered some sort of heart issues, and he unfortunately passed away. So we flew to Arizona for the funeral and to be there to support my grandma and Aunt Crystal.
And as each day goes by, I get a little bit stronger, but that don't stop me from wishing you were here.
Well, I'm walking around Aunt Crystal and Grandma's neighborhood here in Phoenix after the church service on Sunday, the day after Uncle Greg's funeral. It's probably the nicest funeral I've been to. Very well planned, very well thought out. Really enjoyed it. The one thing I was thinking about with it, though, is that as a non-Christian, it's very interesting to see the Christian funeral. I think it's very reassuring and sort of lets people retain hope. You know, they're going to see their loved ones again in heaven, and very supportive, great community, that sort of thing. But I do think it misses out a little bit on kind of the tragedy and also the kind of the joy in life, and that it's a lot of it's about the Christian faith rather than about the actual person and their one speck of light in the eternal darkness, and kind of really fully grasping the weight and loss that comes with having somebody that will never be here again, that you never see again, in my opinion. So it was interesting. It's different perspectives on it, but I can definitely see the benefits of the support of believing you'll see them again in heaven. I just think it's kind of like training wheels or something on life. You know, you're not getting the full experience necessarily because it's believing in what I see as a mythology that you'll see somebody again, when in reality that's not what I believe happens. So very interesting, and really enjoyed seeing all the family and spending time with them. I think family is what's most important, and it's the meaning and purpose of life is family and children and reproduction, as I've talked about before. So yeah, time to go back and have a little lunch. I just got back home from Phoenix and I had the welcome committee awaiting me with some amazing signs and kisses. Okay, give me a kiss. Good. And Griffin had a very, very cool sign and he climbed up on there. And give Dad a kiss too. See, Griffin always resists. I don't know why. You gotta capture this guy and give him kisses. Like this. To Kate, she's a sweet. She just gives kisses.
And
really
why
easy.
does Dad leave his children every day?
Well, Daddy had to go to a funeral, remember?
Well, you always leave your children every day.
No, I usually take you out with me to feed cows, don't I?
No, you don't.
Oh, I think I do.
No, you don't.
I actually take you even more than I take poor kitty baby. This poor Katie baby doesn't always like to go feed cows, huh, Kate?
And why is Dad like a big dad?
Here, if you want to be in the show, buddy, you got to sit down and calm down and talk and answer Dad's questions. Dad's got questions for you in the show. Did you miss Dad?
Yeah. And Daddy, I saw something. So why? Why does Dad have two? Dad has two Uncle Gregs.
Why do I have two Uncle Gregs?
I
That's a
said.
good question.
I said you have two Uncle.
I do have two Uncle Gregs. Yes, I do.
So one is alive. And
One has passed. Yes, one has passed away. He was a very, very nice man. He was good at golf and was a very good member of our family. But very, very sadly, he got pneumonia. What's pneumonia? It's where you go. It's a really bad cough in your lungs, and it's a very bad disease in your lungs. And when he got this really bad disease in his lungs, your lungs, when you breathe, you go. Well, that's tied to your heart. Can you feel your heartbeat? Put your hand over your heart. Put your hand over your heart and feel it go boom, 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 boom. See, Griffin, your heart is right here. Put your hand up a little higher. Your heart's right there. Kate, put your hand up right here. That's where your heart is. Can you feel it beat? You can go. You gotta be very quiet. No, don't breathe loudly. Just see if you can feel it. Thump. That's your heart. Here, if you can feel Daddy's on his wrist. Here, touch right here with your fingers. Just gentle touch. If you want to feel it, you gotta be gentle. You guys feel that?
Yeah.
That's a heartbeat. Your heart is in your chest and it goes boom, 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 boom. It's a pump that, like a water pump, it moves your blood around. It's not a water pump, it moves blood. Your heart's a big pump that moves blood all around your body. And so when Uncle Greg, he got a bad pneumonia case, it was coughing so hard he couldn't get enough air to feed his heart. And his heart eventually just stopped working, and then he died. Because when your heart stops working, you die. And so it was very sad, it was very surprising. Nobody thought that was going to happen because he was such in good health. But he just got a really bad case of pneumonia, and a couple weeks later it killed him.
Do you tell me a story?
Well, I will tell you, I'm telling you a story right now, so I want you to pay attention.
And so
Sometimes people that are very healthy, like Dad or Mama or other people, can actually die pretty suddenly. So it's important to always show them that you love them and you care for them, because at any time, you don't know if Mama goes and gets in a car and she gets in a car wreck. Then she could be dead and you never see her again. Like our poor family, we didn't know Uncle Greg was gonna get this bad chest cold and just all of a sudden die. We didn't know, so everybody's super sad.
And so Daddy's Uncle Greg died.
Daddy's very sad because it's Dad's Uncle Greg, yep. Very sad.
And was it your friend?
No, he's an uncle is a family member. So my dad, he had a sister, and his sister's name is Aunt Crystal. She's Daddy's aunt. She's Daddy's sister. And she married Uncle Greg. And so Uncle Greg married into our family and became a member of our family.
Then, is that the Uncle Greg that died?
Yep, and that's the Uncle Greg that died. And then Daddy's dad has another brother named Uncle also Greg Gross. And Greg Gross is still alive. He was actually there and hung out with Daddy today and at the funeral. He was there and was a really big helper to Aunt Crystal, I think.
And was Aunt Crystal sad too?
Oh, she was super duper 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 sad.
Was your dad there?
No.
No?
I guess Joe had major surgery. She had a hysterectomy. She had a cyst that's enormous apparently, and had to have a hysterectomy the day of the funeral or something like that.
Was it Uncle Greg who died tall?
He was very tall. And so his clothes fit Dad. And so Aunt Crystal was super generous and nice and let me have some of his shirts, which fit Daddy really good, some of his shoes, and some of his shorts. But his pants that were long, they were 34s. Daddy's at 36, so they were a little too short for Dad to take his pants. These are Daddy's pants.
Oh.
And this is Daddy's shirt, actually, that he's wearing. But you see, Daddy has a hole in his sock. Now Daddy has lots of new socks that won't have holes anymore. Because Aunt Crystal was super nice and donated a lot of it to Dad now. Very nice of Aunt Crystal.
Did you try on them?
I did. I tried them all on, just like you do, Kate. You love trying clothes on?
Mm-hmm.
It's your favorite thing?
Uh-huh. If I don't do hay, I'm going to change my clothes.
How many times do you change your clothes a day usually, Kate?
2.
Yeah, it's probably too many, huh, Kate? We just put on one outfit a day. We don't change it 5 times. What was your question, Griffin?
So why do you think he had that bad cough?
That's a very good question. I don't know. There's diseases that get passed from person to person, and that's invisible germs. And so he might have sat next to somebody in a restaurant or at church or something like that, and they coughed, and then the invisible germs came out of their mouth and floated around in the air a little bit, and then he breathed in, and he sucked it in through his mouth into his lungs, and those bad germs, they mated, or they split over and over and over again until there was billions and billions of them in his chest, so many that he couldn't breathe anymore.
Oh. So, but why does it fit Daddy even though he's shorter than Daddy?
Uncle Greg had the same length of torso about. So a torso is your body, this part. And so all of his shirts would fit Daddy just the same. His pants, though, we had different length of legs. My legs are 2 inches longer than his, they're 36. And he had 34, so the pants did not fit me. But some of his shoes fit me, because I wear like somewhere between an 11.5 and a 12.5, and Uncle Greg, I think, was right around an 11.5, so about a third of his shoes actually I was able to bring. I couldn't bring his leather shoes because those weren't very stretchy. But his athletic shoes actually stretched just really well and fit me good.
Did his pants not fit you too?
His pants did not fit me too, but his socks did. Daddy even took his boxers, his undies. His undies fit there. Isn't that funny?
Why did he take even his undies?
Well, Daddy's almost out of undies, and he's got very nice undies. You can't stand still.
Why are you almost out of your undies?
Well, Daddy never, ever goes clothes shopping. So Daddy's clothes are all years and years and years old, and they have holes like that. Daddy does not shop very much. So it's very, very nice for Daddy to get all this nice new clothes, and he didn't have to go shopping. He just had all this nice stuff given to him that matches his style pretty much.
What is this on the phone?
Well, this on the phone is a video recording.
And why do you think, can I see the picture? And why do you think, when he go to the funeral?
Oh yeah, I can show you that. Here, let me stop this video.